shop, and as you can see, it is total pandemonium in here. Chaos is alive and well in the shop. This place is a mess. It is like a bomb went off, and it's making me feel sick in here. But today is going to be a day of cleaning this shop up. Now, I've been working on a job outside of the shop, which I usually don't do. I've been helping my brother out on a big job. It's a waterfall with a pond and a deck. Really cool. I'll probably do a video on that soon. An awesome job. But in the process, right, we were working on that job. At the end of that job, all those tools kind of came back here, just got piled into the shop. And at the same time, a buddy of mine who moved away to Japan, and he couldn't take his shop and his tools, so I inherited a bunch of those tools from him that he gave me that he couldn't use in Japan. A lot of cool tools, so I'm excited to incorporate those in, but at the same time, right, they're all over the shop. The place is crazy. So today is organizing the shop, getting things back in order, because when things are in order, you know, things can happen. Things move smoothly, nicely. I can't work in a mess. It is crazy making, right? So today we're going to go around the shop, tidy up all the different areas around here, and I'm going to bring you guys along, and we'll get things back in order. All right, let's rock and roll. Starting to clean things up for you, huh? All right, my 3 keys to shop organization success. Number 1 is the 12-gallon flip-top tote. These things are key to organizing a shop space. You can see here the wall of boxes. I must have a couple hundred of these around the shop, around the house. I get these at Costco for about $8 a pop. Number 2, key number 2 is these cardboard bin boxes, 18 inches long, 4 inches wide. I've made 18-inch deep shelves around the shop. I keep a ton of extra of these on hand because there's always categories popping up that I want to put something into a bin box. So I got a couple hundred extra just sitting up there on the shelf. Every time I need to put something in a box, I grab one, and I reach for key number 3 is a label maker. You gotta have the label maker going. You could write your own labels, but these are great for just printing out something quick. Put it on there. It's easily legible. You can read what's going on. I've also done color coding where I got yellow for electric, red for nails, blue for plumbing, green for drill bits, black for tools, orange for screws. You know, you can come up with your own color coding system, and it really helps. At a glance, you can just grab something real quick. All right, I think I got to add a 4th key to that, and that is the willingness to want to organize your shop or wherever you are, and you got to take the time to do these kinds of things to get organized. Come up with some sort of system. I really like this system with the totes and the bin boxes, but it is taking that time at the end of the day or the end of a project to organize things, put them away. It doesn't always happen, right? My shop, from time to time, like right now, just gets crazy messy, but I got to take a day or something, just go through everything, organize it, create new bin boxes, put things away, get things nice and clean so you can have some peace of mind when you come in your shop. There's nothing worse than looking for a tool or for something for like a half hour, an hour, you can't find it. You know, you're going to the store, you're going to buy another one, you come back a week later, you find the thing shoved in a corner somewhere. So it is nice to take some time, get organized. Key number 4, the willingness to organize and take that time out of your day. All right, when I'm doing a big clean like this or any kind of job where I need some energy, I like to get the music pumping. You know, there's nothing like good music in the shop to get the blood flowing, get things moving. You know, I used to work in a kitchen when I was younger, and boy, those tickets would be coming into the kitchen, making all kinds of dishes, and I tell you, there was nothing better than some James Brown, Get on the Good Foot, pumping in the background to get you through the night, get those meals up to those hungry people. So, I'm going to throw on a little James Brown on the headphones here, get cranking around the shop, I'll give you guys some filler music because copyright, right? All right, inevitably, when you're cleaning up, there's new categories that show up all the time, like this right here. I've always had this lumped into another group, or it takes another spot in the shop where it shouldn't be. A little rebar tie wire. And you get the label maker going here, right? A rebar tie wire. You can never have enough of these bin boxes here. I was at an auction one time, and boy, I think I picked up like 1,000 of these boxes. These things are great. I'll just stick this right up here on the shelf. What do you think? We getting cleaned up in here? These little towel hooks, these are always good for hanging some wrenches on. I'm going to stick this one right here. Yeah, these are good for hanging wrenches on right by the machines, by the vise. I got one over here with a couple wrenches on it. This is one's a little bit more heavy duty. Over by the LeBlanc lathe, I think I can hang up the 3/4 and the 5/8 that I'm always using on the lathe right there. All right, here's a couple of the tools that I got from my friend Ty, a little Delta grinder. And then this is a Kalamazoo 1-inch belt sander. This will be nice to incorporate into my grinding, polishing area. He also gave me this Porter Cable belt sander. And it's also got a little disc sander here on the side. But over here, we're already getting tight. You know, I got the disc sander. I got this little 1-inch guy. I've got the wire wheel on this. I got the buffing wheel. Maybe we can scoot this stuff around a little. Scoot this down here. Maybe this Kalamazoo fits in here. Probably not. This looks pretty sweet right here. Here's a nice box of stuff I got from Tom Dale. Gave me this after I did that WIS history video. There's a lot of nice WIS shears in here and scissors. Look at this. This is a nice pair of WIS like clippers. Looks like a little lobster claw there, but a little buck knife. I'm going to do a whole video on this at some time soon, tuning up these WIS shears. Those are super cool. Thank you, Tom Dale. All right, now we are getting around to some things that came into the shop and they don't have a home yet, so that's why they've been kicking around on the floor of the shop, like this pentagraph engraving machine, right? We also got this nice Italian scale. We got a couple Miller welders here. I got both of these for $100, but I think there's something wrong with them. They need to go for a repair. If you know anyone who does Miller repair, right? And then we got this here. I think I'm going to move this next door into the wood shop. And then we got this arbor press. This doesn't have a home yet either. And I got to maybe make a stand for this. I want to clean this all up, powder coat it. That is going to be a nice piece here for the shop. Maybe I'm just going to put it on the bottom of this drill press just for now, just to get it out of the way. Right, and we got this right here, the stencil punch machine here, and this doesn't have a home yet either. That's why it's sitting on the floor. Right, we got a whole case of cotter pins. Look at this thing. I bought this not too long ago. I remember Scout Crafter bought a whole thing of cotter pins, and then soon after that I saw this whole deal full of cotter pins. That wasn't bad. All right, we're getting there. Almost can walk through this shop. I'll put this guy over in the wood shop. Engraving machine. This thing weighs a ton. Oh man. But I think this has got to go over into the wood shop as well. Oh, okay. Okay. Wrestle this beast. Oh man. Okay. Whew. That thing, it's probably a couple 100 pounds. Manly Manufacturing. I think this is 1920 or something. I think originally it was that orange color. It is a nice press. Check out this little pocket fisherman kit. There's a whole pole in here. Bonus points if you know what these are all about. Check out this backpack frame. Isn't this thing awesome? It's got the rope that goes against your back. You can strap up something on here. This thing is deluxe. Here's a box that's been hanging out here from Big Vic. Big Vic sent some wood butter that he made. Look at this. He's on the lathe, made a biscuit cutter, a seam ripper. I didn't even realize that this came out, but this is a seam ripper. Some cool stuff. We're going to do a whole nother video on this box. Thank you, Big Vic. All right, look at this whole section down here. This is becoming a quick no man's land I got some like evaporust, some degreaser in a bin, some caulking, some landscape lighting, electrical. Here's a bunch of sewing machine parts. I think I want to clear this whole section out and put power tools in here in their cases. Sawzall. And I think this is a Bosch Bulldog multi-tool barrel handle jigsaw. And under this bench right here, I've got a bunch of other power tools, and I think I'm gonna pull these all out of here and put some like drawer drill indexes here. Maybe one for milling bits and one for, or maybe a couple for drill bits right in this section here. So I'm gonna pull all these out, shift them over to that other shelf. All right, that seems more like it, to have all the power tools together here. Kind of the original idea of these cubbies was, you know, working at the bench here, I can just quickly grab a tool, use it on a project I'm working on at the bench. Got all these plugs right here, I can just plug it right in. So I think this makes a lot more sense. I don't know, I had some spray paint over here, some weird other categories, evaporust, but now having all the tools over here, this is deluxe. This is a box of stuff that I got that is a bunch of these little like storage bin containers. I got a ton of these from a sale I was at, and I think these little containers will be great probably for like lathe insert tools, carbide inserts, high-speed steel, that kind of thing. For the lathe, I can sort them all out into these little bins. You know, the organization, it just never stops, right? On and on and on. All right, that feels so much better. You know, getting this whole shop nice and cleaned up. It feels like I can come in here and work. Man, that was a long day. That was an 8-hour day in here, just getting things cleaned up, organizing, throwing stuff out. And boy, it feels really good now. This is gonna feel great tomorrow morning coming into the shop. I gotta do some work on a trailer, utility trailer that I'm restoring. You guys are gonna see that video soon. And yeah, just organizing the shop. Anyhow, I think this channel, you know, I've made a lot of videos. I got 30,000 subscribers here, but some of these videos, I tell you, are not getting any views, and some of these I'm putting a lot of production time into, weeks and weeks making it, and then sometimes a couple weeks just editing a video, like the pickleball video I just did. You know, it's been out for a week. That took months to make that pickleball video. It's packed with information about how to build your own pickleball court. Obviously, YouTube is not sending it out for people to see. It's been out a week. It's only got like 300 views. That's like showing it to absolutely no one, you know? So, I don't know. I usually don't complain on this channel, but for some reason the algorithm is not picking it up. Maybe I'm, you know, spread too thin. I dabble in so many different areas. I don't have one thing that I focus in on. And I was thinking maybe I'm gonna start focusing on my pizza content again. You know, I do have all these ovens. I want to refurbish those here on this channel, but then go over to my pizza channel and put some content out there as far as like making pizza. I am building a pizza studio just for that content, and traveling around, going to different pizzerias, eating pizza. A lot to do with dough and bread and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys tune in for that, because that might be where I'm moving, because you know, a lot of my content right here is not being seen, and it's a little discouraging when you put that content out and it goes nowhere and you've worked so hard on it. And you know, a lot of the comments that I see, it's just like, oh my God, this is such an amazing video. Boy, you know, the details and the production value is great, but you know, I don't know what's going on. No one's seeing these videos. So anyhow, I hope you guys join me for the pizza content. I will be bringing those ovens in here, fixing up the mixer. I got so much cool stuff going on for that channel, Right On Pizza. You can go there and check it out. There are a bunch of other videos there right now, some old pizza reviews, but I'm kind of going to change how I do that content to a little different style, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that. All right, well, thanks for joining me here in the shop. Cleanup, organization. Maybe it gives you guys, you know, some motivation to get in there and clean up your own shop. Maybe you got some storage techniques you want to share in the comments. You know, drop a comment, like, subscribe. All right, right on, folks. 80 degrees out today. It feels like summer is on its way here. Time to go to the beach. All right, right on. Hope you guys are all doing good, and I will see y'all soon. Right on.